Hello, and welcome to our lesson about frequency charts and histograms. Frequency charts and histograms are both used to illustrate raw data that we collect. Like here, I collected the grades of 20 students in a statistics class, and I'd like to divide into 5 classes. You'll notice how I divide the classes from 50 to 59, 60 to 69, and so on. I also found the midpoint, which is the average of the classes. The frequency, that's where I count how many are between 50 and 59, how many are 60 to 69. Relative frequency and cumulative frequency. And then I drew a graph. Now, a lot just happened there. And you're probably wondering, well, how do we do it? Well, let's do an example together and you'll see how. All right. So, here's another class with 25 students. And we want to make 5 classes. Now, the single most important step in doing this is finding something called the class width. The class width is the maximum minus minimum divided by the number of classes. So, I see that the maximum is 97 and the minimum is 38. So what I'd like to do first is do 97 minus 38, which is equal to 59. And then I would like to divide that by the number of classes. So I'd like to divide that by, if I can get it in there, I'd like to divide that by 5. Now 59 divided by 5 is equal to 11.8. However, when doing a class width, you have to always round up to the next whole number. So in this case, the width is going to equal to 12. Although 12 is not an answer to anything, we need 12 to get all of our answers for class. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start by filling in the class. Now, when doing the class, it's important to always start with the minimum number. And if you recall, the minimum number was 38. Now here's where 12 comes in. Every other number that comes afterwards, I'm going to keep adding 12. So here's what that means. The number in the next group will be 50. The number in the next group will be 62. The number below that will be 74. And the number below that will be 86. All right, very good. But notice the second row started with 50. Which number comes before 50? Well, 49. So what that means is, in the first group, the class would actually be from 38 to 49. The next group will go from 50 to 61. The next group will go from 62 to 73. The next group will go from 74 to 85. And then finally, the last group will stretch from 86 to 97. Our classes are done. All right, let's learn about midpoint next. Now, midpoint is literally big class plus small class divided by 2. Notice the first class has 38 and 49. So what I'd like to do is I would like to add 38 and 49 together. And that is equal to 87. Next, I would like to divide 87 by 2. And 87 divided by 2 is equal, if it'll let me, to 43.5. And that's our first midpoint, 43.5. Okay, remember how earlier we kept adding the 12, the width? Well, it works the same way with midpoint. So the next answer will be 55.5. If I can undo it, if I can get it in there. There we go. The next number will be 67.5. The next number will be 79.5. And then finally, the next number is 91.5. That takes care of midpoint. Now, let's learn about frequency. Frequency literally means we're going to count. So what I'd like to do first is count all the numbers between 38 and 49. So we got these two, and we got 48 here. So it looks like I count 3 numbers. So the first frequency is 3. All right, next I'd like to count all the numbers between 50 and 61. So let's see. These two are good. These two are good. Anybody else? Ooh, 59, that's a good one. It looks like I have 5 numbers, so the frequency there would equal to 5. Very good. Next, I would like to check all the numbers between 62 and 73. Let's see. Nothing here, nothing here. 62 to 73. Oh, 66, that's a good one. 62. Oh, and there's another one here, 73. Looks like it's 3 numbers. So the frequency there would also be 3. All right, next I'd like to look for numbers between 74 and 85. Let's see. All of these, those are 74 to 85. So is 77. So is 81. So is 83. So it looks like I have 6 numbers there. So its frequency would be 6. And then finally, I want to check all the numbers between 86 and 97. So we got these two, and then the 97, and then these 4 right there. So that's a total of, oh, and don't forget good old 95 here. So that's 8 numbers. And frequency is done. Okay. Relative frequency is literally frequency divided by total. Now earlier, we learned that there are a total of 25 numbers. So what that means is we're going to divide every single number by 25. So let's take a look. First of all, 3 divided 25 is 0.12. 5 divided 25 is 0.20. 3 divided 25, we already did that. It was 0.12. Then 6 divided 20, that's 6 divided 25, 0.24. And then 8 divided 20, why do I keep saying 20? 8 divided 25 is 0.32. That takes care of relative frequency. Okay, cumulative frequency. The first cumulative frequency is the same as regular frequency. So the first one will start off the same. So what that means is if the first number is 3, then the first cumulative frequency will also be 3. But then everything else we're going to add. So 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 3, 11. 11 plus 6, 17. 17 plus 8, 25. And we have completed the frequency chart. Now let's do a histogram, which is a bar graph of frequency. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is across the bottom, I'm going to write down all the classes. See if I can expand that. All right. So our classes were 38 to 49, then 50 to 61, then 62 to 73, 74 to 85, and 86 to 97. All right. And the highest frequency was 8. So I'm going to put 8 kind of at the top here. Then if I come down a little bit, call that 4. Maybe we'll call this about 6. We'll call that 2. All right, so it's not the best graph in the world, but it'll do. Here's 8, here's 6, here's 4, here's 2. Okay. Now 38 to 49 had a frequency of 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of bring our chart up to 3, which is between 2 and 4. Now the chart 50 to 61, that had a frequency of 5. So that's going to go a little higher. Sort of like that. All right, next one. 62 to 73, that was also 3, so that's a tie for the first one. Then 74 to 85, that had a frequency of 6, so that's going to go a little higher. And then 86 to 97, that had a frequency of 8, so all the way to the top. Not the prettiest, but it is a histogram, and it does get our point across. All right, very good. All right, let's do another example. So, we have the weight of 30 WWE wrestlers shown. Before we begin, we must find the width. So, I see that the maximum is 425. And the minimum is 212. So that's equal to 213. And then we're going to divide that number by 7. Now 213 divides 7, that's equal to like 30.4. But we are going to round that up to 31. Now 31 is not the answer to anything, but we will need it. So, what that means is, when we do our class, the first number is the smallest number, which is 212. Everything after, we will add 31 together. So the next one will be 243. Next one will be 274. Next one is going to be 305. Next one is 336. Next one is 367. And finally, the last one is 398. Okay, now notice that the second class started with 243. Well, the number that comes before 243 is 242, and 242 will complete the second half. So now what we can do is we can add 31 to that. So next will be 273. Next after that is 304. Next after that is 335. After that is 366. After that is 397. And after that is 428. Okay. So class is done. Now for midpoint, what we're going to do is we're going to add each number and add the classes and divide by 2. So first, 212 plus 242 is, let me check that out, 454. But 454 divided by 2 is 227, which I'll put right here. And then after that, I'll just keep adding 31 to that. So the next one will be 258. Next one will be 289. Next one will be, let's see, what do I have? 320. Anyway. Next one will be 351. Next one will be 382. And finally, the last one is 413. Okay, frequency. Frequency means counting. So the first step is I like to count all the numbers between 212 and 242. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the first frequency is 10. All right, next, all the numbers between 243 and 273. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, frequency is 9. All right, next is 274 to 304. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 it is. Next, all the numbers between 305 and 335. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 it is. Next, all the numbers between 336 and 366. Just 1. All the numbers between 367 and 397. Just 1. All the numbers between 398 and 428. Just 1. All right, so that's all done there. Now notice that there are a total of 30 numbers. So for relative frequency, I would like to divide every number by 30. So, with that said, 10 divided 30 is 0.33. 9 divided 30 is 0.30. 5 divided 30 is 0.167 or 0.17. 3 divided 30 is 0.1, or I like to do 0.10. then 1 divided 30 is 0.03. And the last three are going to be exactly the same. If I can get that in. All right, and that's it for that. Now, cumulative frequency. The first cumulative frequency is the same as regular frequency. So if it started with 10, then cumulative will start with 10. But then we're going to add on the next one. So the next number will be 19. Next number, 24. Next number, 27. Next number, 28. Next number, 29. And final number, 30. It's always important to remember that the last cumulative frequency should be the same as the total. All right, our chart is over. Let's go to our graph. So, I will put the classes at the bottom. So we had 212-242. And let's see. Then 243-273. 274-304. 305-335. 336-366. 367-397. And 398-428. Let's see if I can make it a little longer. There we go. All right. And looks like the biggest on the side was 10. So let me see if I can get 10 up there. Eight, 6, 4, 2. All right, so kind of do tick marks here, 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 and here. Okay. All right, the first group had a frequency of 10. So that's all the way to the top, like so. Next frequency was 9, so slightly lower. Next was 5, so still lower, like so. Then 3, even lower than that. And then the last 3 were all at 1. So what you have is a graph that I would call skewed to the right, because it looks like it tails off to the right. Anyway, that concludes our lesson on how to create a histogram. You should be able to complete Chapter 2.1 homework and the quiz on frequency and histograms. Stay tuned because I'm going to put extra examples on how to do histograms so you will be better prepared for the quiz. Anyway, let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, have a great day.